Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I don't know how you guys are, but I like things straight. I don't like, to beat around the bushes and, better put, I like things straightforward, even if they are, uncomfortable. I'm for things said straight, as uncomfortable they might be. I want to avoid misunderstandings. That's why I don't really like, little flowers around my conversations. Straight to the point. I tell you exactly what I want. You tell me exactly what you need. I might not like it, but I think it's better than having a conversation, a very beautiful conversation, but fake. And after the conversation, I will be like, so what the hell did we talk about? I don't know. You know what I mean? So I put more value on truth, direct conversation than nice conversation. A nice conversation are for certain kind of situations, but when you want to solve something, straight to your face. Now, what do we have here? I have to say that at least I like, in this case, the Ukrainians or the Ukrainian leadership, the guys in charge of Ukraine, when they tell us exactly what they want. I don't want them to tell us, I don't like them to have a nice conversation and tell us that this is that. No, I want them to come and tell, like they do in this article, tell NATO, we want 5,000 airplanes and 25,000 tanks. Got it? Okay, man, now we know what we're talking. So this is what the Ukrainians are doing, and I like it. Instead of saying, well, the Russians are killing our civilians in order for us to defend our towns and civilians who are massacred by the evil Russians, we might need some air defense systems, and we might need some, tell us exactly what you want. And we might say yes, or no, or later, or cut the crap, we talk later. Something like that, but at least an answer. And a question, or an issue. This is what these guys say in this article, the Ukrainians. This article comes from the New Voice of Ukraine, and it is from January 12th, 2022. Ukraine needs thousands of Western tanks. Clear, thank you very much. Now, how many thousands? 50,000? 2,000? Tell us. But thousands, at least we gotta, I didn't think they would say thousands, but hey, they did. So at least we know their expectations. Because they know they will not get thousands, but probably they will. Maybe already got thousands and we don't know. Poland deployed or gave Ukraine 240 T-72s. Soviet, Russian tanks, however we want to call them. So far, 240. Did you know that? I found that a week ago. When the Poland, I think the President Duda said, we gave them 240 T-72 tanks so far. Okay, and now we're going to send them Leopard German ones. Okay, good man, I want to know these kind of things. That's good. All right, so I'm quoting. This is the ambassador, Pristaiko, said. So Ukraine needs thousands of Western tanks to change course of war, says Ambassador Pristaiko. And I'm quoting again, we need thousands, that's for sure, because Russians are putting thousands of tanks in front of our lines, he said, end quote. Now you see, when you have this kind of people, and you have this kind of article, that has no intention of telling us the Russians are still having a lot of weapons. All the other articles that you read, when they tell you about the Russian weapons, they tell us that they are depleted. They blew up 3,000 or 4,000 Russian tanks or whatever. They destroyed 300, 400, 500 airplanes. They destroyed this. They say, oh, the Russians are losing. They don't have any more missiles. They don't have any more rockets. Okay, now you have this guy saying that, hey, we need about some thousands because the Russians are putting thousands of tanks in front of our lines. Also, the Russians have thousands of tanks, or have a lot of them, don't they? Thousands, he says. So now we got this information that you don't find this information in other articles. Like, for instance, the Soledar. Soledar fell in Russian hands about 2 days ago. The articles that come from the Ukrainian sources are like this. Russian Ministry of Defense claims they captured Soledar. Or you find it in Ukrainska Pravda, for instance. Institute of Study of War claims that the Russians might have captured Soledar. The Soledar is dead, floating in the river right now, in the water, face down. What are you talking about? But that's how they can't come and say, you know what, Soledar is lost, man. Let's pick up the pieces and go back and defend Bakhmut. We just regroup and that's it. Fight another day. No. We don't know, man. We're still fighting over there. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. But let's move on and see what this ambassador says. Pristaiko also commented on the situation in Soledar, where fierce fighting is currently taking place. This is the 12th, right? Right now is what? The 13th. Maybe it was at that time, all right? Is currently taking place, and said that the town is completely destroyed and the Russian forces are losing hundreds of soldiers in an attempt to, and I'm quoting, present some kind of win to Russian dictator Vladimir Putin. Some kind of win. Now, you always, in a competition, in a fight, you try to minimize, obviously, the achievements of your opponent, enemy in this case, right? And you try to overemphasize your achievements and minimize your losses, maximize their losses. So that's how the things are. Now he says that actually Soledar has no value. I've been hearing this for, I don't know, a week or so, 2 weeks already by the Ukrainians. Well, there's no importance. It's just that the Russians are trying to show their biceps and their all, everything that they got over there. Yeah, okay, then why do you fight so hard for it? That's another logical question. Okay, then why do you fight so hard? If those guys are throwing everything over there, is that important for you? No, it's nothing important, but we just fight like crazy. For what? Because it's a piece of land that you don't need? Anyway, again, you find information from these guys that they regularly don't give it to you. Then again, minimize the guy's achievements. We find out that Soledar has all those salt mines where these guys can have ammunition, tanks, and personnel in it. And they have a big, sophisticated defense systems in between Soledar and Bakhmut. But anyway, it's not important. Soledar is not important. Earlier, former chief of the British General Staff, Richard Dannett, said that London needs to send, and I'm quoting, up to 50 Challenger 2 tanks to really change the situation in Ukraine. Before that, in an interview with UK News magazine, The Economist, at the end of last year, the Ukrainian Commander-in-Chief, Lieutenant General Valery Zaluzny, said that he would need 300 Western main battle tanks to be able to defeat Russia. And then he says, Zaluzny said he doesn't need hundreds of thousands more to defeat Russia. But since then, there have only been 2 offers of modern Western tanks from Ukraine's allies. Well, no, it's Poland, it's Germany, which will send a Leopard, and it's Finland. At least these 3 that I know. And then you got the British, as they're gonna do. So it's at least 4. But anyway, maybe things changed since then. But since then, there have been only 2 offers of modern Western tanks from Ukraine allies, and the number of machines offered was not large. Well, 40 from those guys, I think 40 from the Brits, 40 from the Brits. I think the Poles are going to send 40 or something. I can't remember how much they agreed on. Anyway, on January 11, the British government confirmed for the first time that it plans to send 10 Challenger 2 tanks in Ukraine to protect it from Russian aggression. Polish President Andrzej Duda announced on January 11 that Warsaw would send a company of Leopard tanks to Ukraine as part of an international coalition. The number was not directly specified, but a company of Polish tanks number 14 vehicles. Alright, so that means 14, 15, 20, something like this, right? Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky thanked its ally, blah blah blah, tra-la-la, lu-lu-lu. Okay, send them over, Red Rover. Do that, but at least this guy says we need thousands. Zaluzny said this last year, it was in November or September maybe, October, that area, where he said, well, if I want to push the Russians back, I need hundreds of tanks or something like this. And everybody was like, shh, 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 shh. Now There's no problem about talking about thousands of tanks. And they will ask for more, not only tanks. They want airplanes, and they will get them. They will get everything. They ask for long-range missile systems. They will get them, up to 300 kilometers to hit within Russia. I think they already got them, NASAMS or something. Now they're going to ask for longer. And you say it's Russia fighting Ukraine, huh? That's why Russia's saying no, it's actually those weasels from NATO fighting Russia. Hey, we don't have anything, no boots on the ground. Maybe you don't have any boots on the ground, which I have some doubts about that. Maybe you don't have as military, American army there, but you have American volunteers, the same guys, the same weapons, and the same technique, but a different signature on a paper with the Ukrainian army. Yes, we agreed to be paid $2 an hour by the Ukrainian army, and we're volunteers. Yeah. And when they get shot or they get captured, I'm a volunteer. Here's my paper. Okay, this is my picture ID. I'm a volunteer. Okay, but he's got like 3 other contracts in the United States with this, and that. Yeah, like you know what I mean. So bring those on. 3,000 tanks would be enough, Zaluzny. All right, let's see if you're gonna have that delivered by that time. You gotta hurry up, because spring is coming, and you say that it's going to be a big offensive, Russian offensive. And Ukraine also says that they're going to start their offensive in February or something. Anyway, this spring is going to be 2 offensives. See what offensive is going to put the other one in a defensive. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.